Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It is 6 o'clock and it is our November 9th regular town board meeting for the town of Rhinebeck. Would everybody like to join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance
Pledge allegiance to the flag
United
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We don't have prior minutes to approve.
Nope. I was late getting to them,
Okay,
and
fine. That's good.
Okay.
Okay, just wanted to check. Okay, we have a presentation. Hi, Danielle. Danielle Salisbury is here and she's going to give us a brief presentation on our climate smart resiliency planning tool. So thanks for coming and take it away.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm Danielle Salisbury with Cornell Cooperative Extension, Dutchess County. And like Supervisor Spinzia said, I'm here to brief you all on the work that we've been doing with the town in regards to climate resiliency. Just as a little bit of a background, Cornell Cooperative Extension, Dutchess County has funding through the Climate Resilience Partnership, which is a program of Cornell Cooperative Extension in partnership with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, Hudson River Estuary Program, the New York Water Resources Institute, and Cornell University, with support from the New York State Environmental Protection Fund. So we typically receive funding like this to assist local communities with climate smart communities actions. And this year, we worked with the town of Rhinebeck to do a climate smart resiliency planning tool. Before I get into what the tool is, a little bit more about the climate smart communities program. I bet some of you are familiar with this program, especially since back in 2010, you adopted the pledge and you were on your way to becoming a climate smart communities program. There are basically it's a program that provides local governments with a robust framework to guide their climate action. And you complete actions and you receive points for those actions. And you try to get specific levels of certification. There's bronze, silver, and they're working on gold right now. Benefits to participating in this program include not only state level recognition, but also cost savings, as well as better scores on grant applications for some state resiliency funded grants, which is the big carrot, because every year they typically come out with a lot of grants to apply for. And so the project I did with the town is actually from one of the pledge elements of the Climate Smart Communities program, which is enhanced community resilience to climate change. And so the climate resilience planning is the tool basically looks at all of the plans and ordinances that a municipality has, and it assesses for gaps on where climate resiliency might be missing. Many plans that towns and municipalities have, they try to include specific levels of climate resiliency, but there's typically room for improvement. So basically, there's this big Excel spreadsheet, which is the Climate Smart Resiliency Planning tool, full of yes or no questions that I went through with the assistance of some of the community members here, Councilperson Pulver, specifically Supervisor Spinzia, with definitely help from the town clerk, as well as several other people. So when I gathered the plans and ordinances from the town, went through this large Excel spreadsheet, which has yes or no questions based on the plans and ordinances that the municipality has. For example, one of the questions is, does the municipality have a FEMA approved multi-hazard mitigation plan? Yes, you do. And so then there are very specific questions getting into, well, does it address the vulnerability of the population, things of that nature. It's very intricate. And I was able to complete this tool, like I said, with the assistance of the town. And it covers 6 planning areas that are key for climate resiliency. One is just a community plan checklist. What types of plans does the community have? The second section is, there's a section on risk and vulnerability assessments. There's a section on public outreach and engagement, planning integration, disaster preparedness and recovery, and hazard mitigation implementation. So I used this tool, completed these answers, and came up with a document of recommendations, which can serve as a roadmap for the town. going forward with climate resiliency. The summary document includes areas of strength for the town and opportunity, as well as recommendations for each of those sections that I mentioned. I won't go through all of it. It's a 10-page document, but just so you get an idea of what is in that document, I'll give just a few examples. One example of the areas of strength that the town has is, like I mentioned before, back in 2010, the town took the Climate Smart Communities Pledge to begin the process to become a climate smart municipality. And now, after a decade of hiatus, the town is once again actively pursuing climate smart community certification and is in the process of establishing a part-time sustainability coordinator to assist with climate smart communities and other sustainability efforts. And one example of the areas of opportunity that came up throughout this process was that the town has the structure for a conservation advisory board in place, but is currently not as active as it could be. A reinvigorated conservation advisory board could assist with completing several of the recommendations listed in the document. For an example of a recommendation from the vulnerability and risk assessment section, one example is, back in February, the town did a community resilience building workshop with the town of Red Hook, Village of Red Hook, and the Village of Rhinebeck. Out of that community resilience building workshop, there came a summary of findings that can be shared with municipal planners, public work officials, transportation planners, and other appropriate municipal, county, or even state officials. For example, that's one recommendation. For the public outreach and engagement, one recommendation is to consider creating a new webpage dedicated to storm and emergency preparedness and flood mitigation. This could be attached onto a webpage that already exists, for example, the emergency services page, or it could be its own separate webpage about just emergency preparedness. And in the document of recommendations, there's several different types of information that you can include on that page to make it beneficial to the residents. Section 4, integration of municipal plans. An example of a recommendation from that is to consider planning for development along the river's edge that will help connect people to the river while also accommodating water during floods. This could be potentially through a waterfront zoning district or waterfront overlay district while collaborating with the Village of Rhinebeck and Amtrak. Again, just a consideration. In Section 5, disaster preparedness and recovery, one example of a recommendation from that plan is to consider implementing a heat warning system and establishing a cooling center program that considers potential problems such as transportation obstacles, effects of power outages or flooding, and other needs of vulnerable populations and communities. That also can count as a climate smart communities action. Which brings me to my final recommendation from Section 6, the hazard mitigation and implementation section, is consider pursuing climate smart community certification, which you are, and that's fantastic. Throughout the document that I've provided to the town, you will see many different of the recommendations are bolded, which means they can be considered as climate smart communities actions, which means if you complete these actions, you will receive points towards climate smart communities. And again, as I mentioned when I was talking earlier, there are a lot of benefits to pursuing climate smart communities. The big one is you get access to grants and you get ranked higher in that system. So that would be the biggest recommendation that has come from this, is definitely to start actively pursuing that. Many of your fellow community around the town of Rhinebeck are also pursuing it, so you're not alone. You can collaborate with them. You can talk about challenges and how to get over that. So a lot of communities in the area are trying this as well. So that would be probably the biggest recommendation at the moment.
And we fully intend to. The amount of work that you've done has been so huge and so beneficial for us. We cannot thank you enough. And we have funded a sustainability coordinator for next year. And it's our intention that he or she will finally get the certification for us. I mean, we know that we qualify for it, and there was a stipend at one time. And once the stipend went away, we're just so sort of underfunded. We didn't have someone to finish it for us. So you took us almost all the way there, and I know we'll get it done early next year.
That's very exciting to hear. I'm glad.
Yeah. No, we're committed to it. So thank you. Does any of the board members have any questions or comments for for Danielle?
Right,
John,
pass-
sorry, Josh.
Ed,
Oh, Ed.
should I pass this on to the Conservation Board? Danielle's findings.
Well, I think we're going to put it on our website. John, can you put the planning tool on our website, and we'll start a little page for there. Yeah, we could certainly send it out to all of our boards, and
Yeah.
it'll be there for the
Yeah.
public to see.
Great.
Danielle, Cornell Cooperative, the extension is, again, a great support to us always. So thank you very much, and thanks for coming to the meeting.
Thanks. It's been a pleasure working with you all, and I hope to work with you soon.
I'm sure we will. See you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Danielle.
Okay, let's go on to our resolutions. I need a motion for 2022-20 to hire a full-time laborer for the highway department. May I have a motion?
Make a
Motion.
motion.
Thank you,
Second.
Ed. May I have a second? Is that Alan?
Second. Yes.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions from the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Resolution 2022-21, renewal of insurance contract with New York Municipal Insurance Reciprocal. That's NYMAR. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Chauncey. May I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Alan, thanks. I want to make one amendment here. I would just like to strike from the resolution town liability, the word liability, New York Municipal Insurance Reciprocal Town Policy Renewal, please. And strike liability from the body. This is more than just liability. It also has property and inland marine and everything. So in the, just to be clear. Any further discussion? All in favor of amending the resolution?
Aye.
Aye. All in favor of the resolution?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. I need a motion for resolution 2020-222 for brush removal at the town dump, Ed.
I will make that motion.
It sounded like an order.
I know.
Suggestion.
My area of expertise.
Thanks,
I'm sorry.
Ed. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Chauncey.
I
Ed,
have a
thanks
little
for all
update
your
for that.
work on this, figuring out how to get it removed for,
I have an update for that. Okay, Durst was so happy after they saw what we had that they said next spring we can get whatever mulch we want for free.
great.
Isn't that
That's
great?
fabulous. Yep,
Yep.
fabulous. Thank you. Any further discussion or questions? Again, Ed, thanks. You really helped us out with the DEC, and our landfill is looking good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Resolution 2020-223, shelter contract with Columbia Green Humane Society, SPCA. I will make a motion. May we have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Ed. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Passes unanimously. Thank you. Resolution 2020-224, Joint Town Village Committee on the Environmental Public Outreach. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Is that Josh?
It is. I'm back. I'm sorry.
Oh, hi, Josh. And Chauncey. Thanks, guys. Is there any discussion here?
No, this is just an announcement of work or memorialization of work that the town and village have been working on some stuff. And we want people to join us in a future Zoom conference or
Yes,
hopefully.
we're going to schedule a joint Zoom conference of our Joint Environmental Committee.
Correct.
Great, thank you. Any further discussion, or we hope the public will attend? Environment being, I think, one of our top priorities as a local government. Any further discussion? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Resolution number 6, 2020225, adopting local law to be numbered of 2020, entitled a local law amending the town code chapter 125 zoning in the matter of regulating play structure type tree houses in the town of Rhinebeck. May I have a motion?
Josh, come on.
You have to motion this.
Yes, you can discuss.
Second.
Thanks. Who is that? Alan.
Yeah,
We closed our public hearing on this on the 26th. Erroneously, the resolution was not before us, so we're voting on it tonight. Is there any discussion or any comment? All in favor by roll call. I'll go Josh Pulver,
Aye.
Ed Roberts,
Aye.
Chauncey Walker,
Aye.
Alan Shear,
aye.
and Elizabeth Spinzia, yes. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. I would like to table Resolution 2020-226. This is a law that the Zoning Review Group has been working on, a draft of which was sent to us and to Warren. Warren hasn't had time to give his input on it, nor have we had a chance to discuss it with Warren. So can we table this until Warren has seen it, please? Thank you. I'll make a motion for Resolution 2020-227, a preliminary accounts payable abstracts 35 checks totaling $44,975.01. May I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Thanks, Alan. Is there any discussion or any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. I will make a motion for Resolution 2020-228 for our capital projects, 2 checks totaling $4,392. May I have a second?
Second.
Is that Chauncey?
Yes.
Chauncey, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. I need a motion for Resolution 2020-229.
Motion. I'm sorry.
The request
Oh.
for quotations to the maintenance of the town of
I know.
Rhinebeck and the village solar generation installations. Thank you, Alan. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Chauncey.
Is there any
I was not gonna do
discussion?
it.
Which solar installations? It's obviously I know where the towns are, where the villages.
The village has one on the roof of its building, of the village hall.
So is it just cleaning? Is that what it is?
Or- I'm sorry?
Is it just cleaning?
It's, Josh, there's one on Village Hall, there's one on Town Hall roof, there's one on roof of the Highway Department, there's one at the transfer station, and there's some on one of the buildings at the
Pool?
Thompson Mazzarella Park. The quote, I'm sorry, what was the question?
The pool, right? On the pool.
Yeah, at the pool.
Yeah, the pool house.
Yeah.
And we just need to have them maintain proper quarterly reports and
Okay.
Yeah, the idea is that the village and the town could save money if we get one vendor, one contract,
I got it.
Right.
as opposed to having each of us do it separately.
That's right, consolidation.
working
pl-
together.
Yes, plus the
Thank
fact
you.
that we haven't maintained this stuff for a while.
Let's get on it then. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Resolution 2020-230, hire a part-time maintenance department laborer. May I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Ed. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alan. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay, any new business for the town board?
Yes. Suzanne Kelly's in the room. She'd like to speak to us on cemetery foundations.
Okay.
You're on, Susan.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hi. So, yeah, I just wanted to, before I bring this resolution, I just wanted to discuss with you, we're doing our annual review of the rules and regulations and fee schedule. I know we had talked about, possibly raising prices for plots in the future. And so that's one thing that we're discussing right now. And I can answer questions about that. And the other thing on the fee schedule has to do with the foundations that the monuments are on. I think I mentioned this once before. So currently the way that it works is that the caretaker pours the foundations for the monuments. And we have, I don't know, like maybe 15 a year or so. And we would like to switch that to have the monument companies actually pour the foundations instead. But we would charge for the caretaker to mark out the plot, say like $100 or something per grave site. So we would add that fee to the fee schedule and take away the fee that we have right now for the foundations. Does that
Okay,
make sense?
yes. Seems like a good change.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll work better because right now it's just the foundations can only be poured during the warm months, and that's when all of the heavy maintenance is happening. And so it just delays the monuments going in, and it's just easier for the monument companies to put the foundations in.
Makes sense. Thank
Okay.
you.
So that's the one thing. And then the other thing has to do with the raising the plot prices. And I don't know if you want to have that discussion now or if you want to do it another time or.
Sure, I mean, if you have information, sure.
Yeah, so we had this discussion once before several years ago about maybe making a resident and non-resident. And this is just for the plot purchases, not for the interment fees or any other fees. So we did some more thinking about it, and we seem to all be in favor of having a resident and a non-resident fee, like you do, say, at the rec, right? You have a resident and non-resident fee.
Is that
So-
legal?
Well, I guess you would have to check with Warren for that. I know you do it for other things, so I would imagine that it would be. I mean, I have no idea, but given that you already do it for other things, I would imagine that it would be, but you would have to check into that. Currently, the natural burial plots are $1,650. This is for a full plot. They're $1,250 for conventional plots. They're $825 for natural cremation plots and $550 for conventional cremation plots. So we'd like to keep those prices the same for residents and up the non-resident fees to $1,875 for a conventional full plot, $2,475 to a natural full plot, $825 for a conventional cremation plot, and $1,275 for a natural burial cremation plot.
I thought you just said that the fees were $1,650 and $850 for conventional burial and cremation, and $1,250 and $550.
$825 for a cremation natural, not $850. Did I say $850? Sorry, it's $825.
For a
That's-
cremation natural,
Yep, natural cremation is $825.
and what's $1,650?
That's a full natural, just a full plot, a full
And how much is a conventional plot?
$1,250.
$1,250, and $550 is conventional cremation.
Right.
And then you wanted to raise them to $1,875 and $2,475?
Yeah, so we went with a percentage here, which was like 50%, I guess. So 1.5, I think we multiplied it by. We just wanted to make it consistent.
But 1.1650 times 1.5 is not 1875.
All right. Well, I might have this wrong. So
The numbers
it's
are-
very possible I have it wrong. This was just from our committee meeting.
Yeah,
So
it's 1850 times 1.5 is 2475.
1650.
1650 times 1.5 is 2475, not
That's right.
1875.
No,
I think
Well,
you got them mixed up.
okay, so the 1250, yeah, the 1250, which is the conventional full, would be 1875. The natural full would be 2475. These were my numbers, so please check them. Cremation conventional would be 825, and cremation natural would be 1275. Is that correct?
No, it's the other way around. The
No.
cremation green would go from 825 to 1275.
Right,
Yes,
that's what
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
See, we charge resident prices for services that we provide that use taxpayer dollars. So
this is taxpayer dollars.
well, on the labor to maintain it. So we'll check with Warren.
Okay,
But could you send us an email and copy the clerks
Yeah.
on the price recommendations?
sure.
And we'll have these before us at the next meeting, or?
I'll send them right away. Is that what you asked?
If you would, are we going to have resolutions for these at our next
We would like,
meeting?
we would like to have this passed maybe in January, like to have it like the first, in the new year.
Okay,
But our feeling around this is that we don't want to raise prices too much on Rhinebeck residents, and we know we're going to have to continue to raise prices, and we are selling a lot of the natural burial plots.
they're all out of town, mostly out of towners.
A good percentage of them are.
Right.
This is not true for the conventional plots, and we almost hesitated to raise, but since we sell so few out of the community, I think it doesn't really matter. But since we're selling so many out of the community, it seems like that's where we should build the revenue from that and not continue to raise it on people in the community.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Anything else? And we funded, we put some money aside for the cemetery wall in next year's budget,
Oh, good. I was going to ask you about that. Great.
Yes, that's in there.
$50,000.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, great.
All righty.
Okay,
Thanks
thanks.
for coming, Suzanne.
Take care.
Thanks,
Nice.
Suzanne.
Any other new business before the town board? Any public comment on non-agenda items? Okay, hearing none, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'm
Thank
sorry, I was
you.
trying to unmute myself, Elizabeth.
Oh, Victoria, there you are.
Oh, here I am. I thank you for taking my comment. Just very quickly, I just wanted to reiterate that we are trying to come up with a date to make a presentation.
Victoria, I have told you, we don't have our council on board yet. We are not ready to make a date. As soon as we are, I'll let you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you authorized Michael Zarin last week. That's why I was reaching out again.
Once we have gotten up to speed with our council, someone will be in touch with you if that's what we decide we want to do.
Victoria, we have retained him, but we're in the process of bringing him up to speed. He's got a lot to learn about the background here, that's all.
Sure. I just wanted to take the opportunity to reiterate that we're willing to meet.
Thank you. We'll decide if, we have to talk to council, but thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
I'm hiding in the bathroom away from the children.
We
Don't
heard
hide
her
from the-
anyway.
We've all been there.
That's fabulous. Good. All right, thank you. That was very funny and sweet. Anybody else want to hide in the bathroom from their kids or unmute? All right, Victoria, you win the meeting for tonight. All right, anybody else? Hearing nothing, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thanks, Chauncey. Good night, everybody. See you in a couple of weeks.